Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's me coming at you again with another video. Um, this time I wanted to talk about a fight that was very underrated and pretty much people forgot about it or probably never heard of it. Um, this fight was actually on Showtime. I remember this like it was yesterday, man. Damn. It took place in 1993. I think it was June. Well, June 19th is the day of this fight. It was between Terry Norris, who at the time was, I think, ranked number two or number one pound per pound, while he was going up for that pound per pound title against guys like Julian Jackson and Roy Jones Jr. But he was entering a fight in his hometown, San Diego, which is minutes away from Ocampo, where he lives and raises, and he's resides at this point. And he entered the fight at 34-3 with 20 KOs, and he was the WBC Super Welterweight Champion. And he was going up against Troy Walters, who was 20-2. I believe with 17 KOs coming into the fight. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone in the comment section? But anyways, the reason I wanted to cover this fight because this fight, particularly as I just mentioned, is so underrated to the fact that this was very parallel to the Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearn fight. And let me tell you the reason why, because this fight only lasted 3 rounds and it was a war from the beginning. And let me get to that. In the first round, Terry Norris, he came in barraging with punches. I mean, Jesus, he came in gun blazing, threw some amazing combos. Hand speed was unbelievable. Footwork was crazy. Tremendous pressure fighter. And he dropped Waters early in that first round. I mean, he dropped him to the point that people thought, "Oh, this is over." It looked like a mismatch to that point. But Waters had heart. He stuck in there while he's taking tremendous punishment. I mean, it was unnecessary punishment because he literally had no lateral movement, or he wasn't even moving his head at all. He was just standing there being a stationary target. And I kind of blame his corner at that point. When that round ended, he was hurt very badly, and they should have told him to adjust and stop. Don't stand in front of Norris, man. You got to get around and you got to box him in angles. You got to give him some angles. You got to fight him in the distance. Don't let him come towards you. But anyhow, before that, I want to get to that knockdown real quickly before that first round ended. I forgot to cover that. In that first round where Norris had knocked down Waters, the funny thing had happened in that round. When Waters went down, Marty Dinkin, who at the time was the referee for the fight, who was kind of like Richard Steele, but not as notorious when it comes to questionable calls. But he had deducted a point from Norris because Norris hit Waters while he was on the ground, or on top of the head while he was on the ground. And it's nothing new with Terry Norris because he was notorious for doing that to many fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard, for example, where he had knocked him down in the second round, but when Sugar Ray's gloves touched the canvas, he went in there and knocked him down. He knocked him in the face again, and he didn't get a point deducted for that. But anyhow, Norris, he'll just punch until he'll punch to the day he dies. That's how he was, because again, he was just notorious for knocking people down, but hitting them after while they're on the ground and whatnot. So anyhow, on to the second round. The second round, started off with Norris coming in, trying to get the guy out of there, hit him with some, blazing combos here and there. But next thing Troy Waters caught Norris with a good right to the temple, and he went down, and everyone was surprised because they thought at the time, and I thought that Troy Waters was done, man. He was just badly hurt in that first round. But he came back at the wherewithal. He knocked him down and made that fight more competitive. But when Norris got up, he was very shaken. And about Terry Norris, he always had a suspected chin. He could never really take a punch very well. But he did. I'll give him credit when credit is due. He did recover from that very well, even though he was badly shooken up. So he came back, and he came in. He was blazing Waters with a lot of body shots. I mean, he trapped him in the corner. He gave him a lot of combos to the head. But give credit when credit due again, man, because Waters stood there like a warrior, man, even though I kind of protest that. He stood there and then he hit Norris with some amazing shots as well with the 1-2, and then came in with some body shots, and then came in with a straight cross. I mean, that second round was a war. I mean, Jesus Christ. And I mean, it was amazing after that round. The people in San Diego at the time, I think it was at the convention center in San Diego or the sports arena, I think. Yeah, I think it was the sports arena. Yeah, and people were standing, they were cheering because they just saw an amazing round. Even the first round was amazing, even though Norris dominated that round. But anyways, on to the third round. Um, Again, this is why I don't understand why Waters' corner didn't tell him to adjust by moving in angles, giving Norris some, giving Norris some distance. Don't let him come forward. Don't allow him to pressure you. You got to back him up. Apparently, the same strategy. He came in there, stood there with him, traded with him, which he shouldn't have. And next thing you know, when he was still training with him, even though he was getting him some good shots in that third round, Norris came back with a perfect right hook that he knocked Waters down so bad that it looked so ugly when he did it. But not too ugly, but he knocked him down pretty ugly. But Waters got back up, taking a severe punishment to the point that Norris really busted up his face so badly. He gave him cuts under the right eye, then he gave him a cut, I think, under the left eye. Then he gave him another cut in the right eye as well. So I mean, after the third round had concluded, um, Troy Waters' corner threw in the towel. They said their fighter took enough punishment that he couldn't take no more, and rightfully so, man. You got to look after your fighter. You can't always rely on the referee to stop the fight, or the doctor, by that matter. I mean, if you see your fighter's hurting, he can't go. Just throw in the towel. He at least can go home and see his family, and he lives to see another day. Now, that fight right there, especially round two, was voted to be round of the year at that time. So, and Troy Waters, if he had won that fight, that would have been the upset of the year, and he would have been propelled to be a superstar of a fighter if he had beat Norris, who at the time was ranked number one, or I think number two, pound for pound. So, anyhow, what are these fighters doing today? I know everybody's been asked that question. Well, Terry Norris is still around. He'll do interviews. You can see him, spotted, at boxing events, whatnot. But sadly, during his years of fighting, he suffered, tremendous brain damage to where he has slurred speech. And Troy Waters, on the other hand, last year a photo surfaced where he was not doing well health wise. I mean, he's battling leukemia, but we haven't heard from him after that. So let me know what you think. Take a look at that fight, man. Let me know what you think. Signing off. Peace.